I'm sorry. Were you expecting Turn 5 Live this evening? The boys from Turn 5 Live have the night off.
That is damn right, brother.
Right. That's nonsense, Quinn. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry.
I don't care what you buy.
You're not just buying a racetrack. You're buying a piece of American racing history right there.
Yeah, it's great to be here. And what a facility you've got. Outstanding.
No matter how long I announce that Cannon Day was, that is Gary's house. And it will always be Gary's house.
I hear a lot of rumors. I'll just keep tuning in to you guys.
I consider myself a young kid looking to go fast and have fun. I wasn't looking for a Hall of Fame career.
Well, drivers being what they are, they're prima donnas, you know. We need change. You know, we like being in the comfort zone. We are not in the comfort zone this deal, you know.
I don't like it one bit. I've never liked it. It kind of sucks, really.
Somebody ought to take a wiffle ball bat and just flog them.
Tune in to Turn 5 Live and see a selfie on the radio.
On the radio, that's right.
There comes a time to sit back and say, I've just got too much going on.
Why don't you bring us to more places like this in Greco? There isn't any other place.
Race fans, it's time to throw it up on the cushion and get dirty. Coming to you live from the Finger Lakes and Southern Tier, it's time for Turn 5 Live. Now, your hosts of Turn 5 Live, Steve Ovens, Clint Miller, and Brad Ovens.
All these times, I simply stepped aside. I watched but never really listened as the whole world passed me by. All this time, I watched from the outside.
Welcome aboard, race fans, to this week's episode of Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Steven Ovens coming to you from the Turn 5 Media headquarters here in Horseheads, New York, bringing you this week's show, and we are gearing up for a big weekend here locally for the Woodhall Raceway as they get set to take over the Arnott Mall right here in Horseheads, New York. They will take over for the annual Arnott Mall Car Show presented by Sword Out Recycling. Woodhall Raceway taking over. They've got 43 spots laid out inside of the Arnott Mall. We're going to have a nice mix of race cars in there. This is always that time of year where everybody's thrashing to either get that race car done for the mall show or to get as much as you can done and then realize that maybe you're not quite far enough to have it ready for the mall show. But for the guys that are bringing cars out this weekend, should be a great weekend to put all of their racers on display. Again, 43 different spots that the mall gives the track access to. Certainly not quite as many spots as you may have seen if you were a participant in the early days of the mall show. And certainly, the hallway marquees and different booths that you see set up throughout the center of the mall, takes away from the number of spaces that the track has to work with this coming week. But should be a great show nonetheless. Got a whole host of drivers signed up to show off their shiny new sheet metal. And before we even get to the Arnott Mall this weekend, there's been two other opportunities, actually three with two on one weekend, if you think of it that way, that you had the car show this past weekend, Motorsports Expo in Syracuse, New York. A lot of drivers on hand for that. You also had a lot of racetracks on hand for that, a lot of nice displays. Outlaw Speedway had a nice setup there. We talked to Tyler Siri. We'll be talking to him later on in the program. We also talked to Mike Emhof from the Patriot Sprint Tour and the CRSA 305 Sprint Tour. He gave us a little bit of the rundown on the Patriot schedule for the 360s this year, gave us some idea of the tracks they're going to, some tracks they're returning to, or tracks they're going to for the very first time, as the case was with Path Valley. So stick around. We've got Mike Emhof coming up later on in the program. We also stopped by to talk to Joe Trenca, the Salt City Outlaw, getting ready to chase the Patriot Sprint Tour American Series. He will be following all the American shows for the Patriots this year, trying to chase down a championship, and before you even talk about championship, trying to chase his first 360 sprint car victory. So Joe Trenca, we talked to him, we'll hear from him a little bit later on. We also, our annual sit-down with Kelly Hebing. She was standing right next to her wingless 360 sprint car as she was helping Weedsport Speedway promote their wingless 360 show coming up later in 2017. So we talked to Kelly all about that. And you think about it, we have had Kelly Hebing each year on the program all throughout her career, and to see where she started from, just getting, dipping the toes in the water with the 305, and then eventually working up to now racing strictly 360 sprint cars. Kelly has done an incredible job of progressing her career, meeting the right people along the way to support her efforts. And it certainly doesn't hurt when your father's the Cobra, Chuck Hebing, to give her all of the pointers and knowledge that he has amassed over his illustrious career, not just on the Empire Super Sprints, but also on the Patriot Sprint Tour. So we talked with Kelly here in just a little bit. And we've still got an interview we're carrying over from Finger Lake Speed World with Eric Wright. And Eric Wright from the Rebel Outlaws. That is the 270 micro sprints, but a bit different. The alterations, you might say, as they actually are powered by snowmobile engines. Now, if you're a faithful listener of Turn 5, you know we've talked to Eric Wright in the past, and it's been a while since we've talked to him last. He had both of his wingless car and his winged Rebel Outlaw on display at Finger Lake Speed World here just 2 weekends ago. We caught up with him. We didn't have enough time to air that last week, so we will air that tonight during the program, so stick around for that. But the news of the weekend, one of the biggest rumors in dirt track racing here in the Northeast all off-season long was, is Matt Shepard going to race at Outlaw Speedway? Will he do it full-time? Can he run for the championship? Will he find a quality ride to do so? Well, all of those questions got answered on Friday night as Matt Shepard took to Facebook, letting everybody know that he indeed has found a full-time ride. And, drum roll, it's with Sweeteners Plus. Yes, that's Sweeteners Plus. The same Coffee McCready Enterprise team that fields race cars for Vic Coffee, Kyle Coffee, and that guy you might have heard of, Tim McCready. Yeah, he's won a few races himself too. Matt Shepard lands a ride with Sweeteners Plus for 2017 to make a full assault on Outlaw Speedway, chasing not only the wins in the weekly racing competition, chasing a championship, chasing that $40,000 bonus if they can win all 4 of the marquee events. If they can win 3 out of 4, there's even a partial bonus of $25,000. So a big news item from the weekend. Matt Shepard going to be racing with the Sweeteners Plus team, and that has had the internet abuzz ever since that was announced. Just incredible news for Tyler Siri and all the fans and competitors. Well, maybe not so much the competitors, because now they've got a pretty talented shoe with a potent piece coming to compete with them. But certainly a huge win for the fans, because you have got a collection of some of the best. I mean, do you have every single name that runs the Super Dirt Car Series there at Outlaw on a Friday night? No, you don't. But I'll tell you what, as far as weekly competition goes, you would have to really stretch, I think, to find a track that has as many guys that can win a race on any given night than what you have at Outlaw Speedway. And I'm not even kidding about that. You look across New York State, you look across PA, and some of the tracks to our south, you would be hard-pressed to find a track that has, head and shoulders above the competition that Outlaw Speedway is going to have this year. You've got Matt Shepard, who just announced on Friday. You've got Steve Payne and Alan Johnson, both of which who have contended for the title for the last 2 seasons in a row. And oh, by the way, they just got announced as the newest inductees in the Dirt Modified and Stock Car Hall of Fame. So let that sink in for a second. 2 drivers who have already been competing at Outlaw, now they're inducted into the Hall of Fame, which was so deserving for both of those drivers, Payne and Johnson. There's also been rumor that Danny Johnson will race there at Outlaw Speedway as well. Although we don't have a 100% confirmation on that just yet. Then you throw in, all of the weekly regulars who are so good at Outlaw. You've got names like Brady Foltz, the local guy right there out of the village of Dundee. You've got guys like Joe Ginn, Donnie Lawson. I know Gary Tompkins not going to be racing. He'll be going to Brewerton on Friday nights. And although that is a loss, you've got guys like, the guy that owns the racetrack, Tyler Siri. He is going to be a guy to contend with this season. Jordan Siri won't be on a full schedule this year due to work commitments. But if Jordan Siri's in town, you know that he's going to be in a race car, and he is going to be, he'll try and light the world on fire if he has to try and win a feature event there at the track that his father owns for sure. But you look through the field, there is an incredible amount of drivers that, are going to be competing for this championship and competing for wins. And you've got guys like Billy Van Pelt that are going to come in on occasion. He may not run full-time, obviously, but he's going to come in and compete anytime he's there. He has run a partial schedule there for the last couple of seasons, so you know that he's going to be there in the running. Dylan Groover, going to be competing in the Herbie Wright 88 car all season long. That'll be a guy to keep your eye on without a doubt. And there's so many names like that the competition level is just going to be absolutely stout. We talked about Matt Shepard running there. You're also going to have young Kyle Coffey. That whole team will be competing there. And of course, Vic going to be, working with Kyle. And part of this deal, I kind of found the news shocking, to see Matt team up with Sweeteners Plus. But think about it this way, too, guys. There's a lot of reasons why that makes sense. You've got the Bicknell chassis. You've got the Integra Racing shocks. You've got CC Performance, both of which coincide with what Matt Shepard's doing with his and his wife Beth's team versus what you've got going at Coffey McCready Enterprise. They're working off of the same program. So now that you have time to digest the story, there's a lot of reasons why this makes sense. But for Vic Coffey, taking a step aside a little bit, he has got, a neck injury. He's got some neck issues with some bone spurs that, are requiring him to take some time off a little bit to rest that neck up. And not necessarily, he's obviously not using the word retirement, but he is using this time and putting Matt Shepard in a ride, for him to get some rest. And I think that we will see him on track this season. It just won't be in a full-time basis, and you never know where he might pop up and be in the race car. But with the injury that he has and trying to work through that, the best thing for him is to get rest as much as he can and race when he chooses to do so. And in the meantime, while he's doing that, why not put a 5-time Super Dirt Car Series champion in your race car to go and compete for $2,000 to win on a weekly basis, a bonus opportunity of $40,000 or a partial bonus of $25,000, and race for a $5,000 championship? Why wouldn't you do something like that? It's a great deal for all those parties involved, and I'll tell you, we have got a great show planned for you. We're going to talk to all of those folks that I just mentioned, and we've got a great, great program lined up for you. So stick around. More from Motorsports Expo 2017 coming up next here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right. It's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
Hi, this is Jens Scott from Summit Point Kart in Summit Point, West Virginia. If you're looking for a real racing experience on a real racetrack, come out to Summit Point Kart this weekend. For as little as $25, you can get your racing career started. New this year, Summit Point Kart offers the RX 250 capable of over 75 miles an hour. We're open every Friday from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m., Saturday from noon till 10 p.m., and Sunday from noon till 9 p.m. For more information, go to our website, summitpointkartwithak.com, or you can call us at 304-725-5270. Summit Point Kart, your East Coast karting center.
In the race of everyday life, it's nice to have the green flag. But drivetrain problems are the pits. A fully remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential from Jasper Engines and Transmissions costs less than a new vehicle and comes with a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide transferable warranty. See JasperEngines.com for details and get the green flag in your race of everyday life.
See the boys at Chandler & Sons Automotive, 45977 Old Ox Road in Sterling. Give them a call, 703-437-7300.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
Hi, race fans. This is Chuck Keebing, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. We're coming to you from Finger Lakes Speed World here in Auburn at the Finger Lakes Mall, right outside of Bass Pro Shops. Been looking out at these side-by-sides over here. I might have to take one of these home with me. I don't know. See if they'll miss it or not. But we've got Eric Wright with us here from the Rebel Outlaws. And, Eric, we've had you on the show before, but it's been a while. And we're getting ready to start a brand new season. And you have got a poster here that you shared with me. Now, you guys primarily race at Starlite Speedway.
Correct.
And before we talk about this event here, I want to get a little update on you've got a fresh piece up here, a new build for this year.
Yes, I do.
Tell me a little bit about that.
This year, we unveiled it yesterday here at the mall. It's an older chassis. It's an 04 Hyper torsion chassis. And the secret to it, I guess, is the motor. It's got the legendary XCR Polaris 800 triple. It's just an extremely reliable, affordable power plant that produces tremendous power.
Gotcha.
I can't wait to test this car out coming up here in the spring and see what it's going to do.
So that's what's different between this. Now, is the other ones that you've built has been a twin?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
This is actually, last year I built a car also. That was my first triple.
Okay.
So this is my second triple. It's improved. It's refined.
You took what you had last year and
made it better.
Yeah.
But, I mean, let me step back a second. Last year's car, it's a championship car now.
That's awesome.
It did great things. The chassis design, it didn't stand up and do a wheelie like my other car, so that was a little disappointing. It didn't quite have the rear bite, and it was dedicated to a new wingless class that we run parallel to the wing class.
Right.
Primarily, we started that class a year ago to invite all wingless cars, New York State and abroad, that are interested in racing wingless to come to our home track and go to battle for a championship in a wingless division. And it's open to bike-powered cars, any CC,
Sure.
under track insurance, which I believe is 11 or 1,200 CCs.
Okay.
That's every track in the nation, micro sprint insurance.
Gotcha.
And it's just a good thing. It's cool. It's fun, and it's what we're doing with the sled motors. It's innovating. It's different.
Yeah. I mean, you told me earlier this weekend that even some guys are seeing what you guys are doing down here, and either altering it or taking the concept and using it on a different surface.
Yes. We have a group of guys up in Canada that race on asphalt. They've been racing sled motors for a long time up there on asphalt. I believe they primarily run the 440 engine, which is, I think it's a Polaris motor,
Gotcha.
which is cool.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, props to them guys. Basically, I've been talking with a gentleman, Larry, up there for a couple of years, and he's been just keeping tabs and watching what we've been doing. And I guess this spring, or spring up there, wouldn't spring for them, middle of our summer.
Yeah.
They're unveiling what they're calling their first 600 Outlaw class, which is going to use the traditional micro sprint chassis, opposed to what they've been using, and they're going to do the 600 twins, just as a start and see how it goes. And I've been watching them. The guys up there, they're ecstatic. They're the design, the motor on the inside, the other ones were on the outside. The functionality of it's impeccable, and it's probably going to grow pretty quick up there. Wish I could live in two places at once. Cause
yeah. Well, and because of that, with the growth of that, it has an impact here in New York in trying to get some of the chassis. So
absolutely, not so much in the purchase of the snowmobiles locally, because they have a lot of them up there. But local micro sprint used chassis that go for sale that normally we can pick up pretty affordable. I'm seeing a little increase in the low dollar chassis due to these guys and the demand for them up north, because they're not as readily available as they are down here a little farther south and below us.
Yeah. Now, you've got an event coming up Sunday, May 28th, 4 o'clock at Starlite Speedway, and that is 5287 Searsburg Road in Trumansburg, and this is your Rebels Race for a Cure. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. Right in the heart of the Finger Lakes. Rebels Race for a Cure. We started 3 years ago. It's a great event. All proceeds from the track, all the items that we have for raffle, all the proceeds from everything goes to Trumansburg Takes on Pediatric Cancer, and I'm just proud to be part of that.
Yeah.
It's the gentleman that started it. He's actually the one that shot out that name, the Rebels Race for a Cure. It was it had a nice ring to it, and we also have a parade that we do in Trumansburg. I don't have that date. I apologize, but
that's fine.
The Rebels Race for a Cure event. We have a kids Power Wheels race, which is really cool to see them out there. Of the young ages, bumper to bumper, and doing that. I believe we do a bike race for the kids 7 and up. I guess if some kids can ride, they're a little younger.
Now, is that riding right around the track?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
And And it's just great because Starlite was founded based on the kids.
Yeah.
And they started out with the microds.
Okay.
Microds, I mean, back then they were plywood siding and,
oh, yeah.
you know, Grandpa's 5-horse rototiller motor. And
I remember those days.
So it's really cool that this event has evolved at the track that was built and based on the childs and the kids of our local community. And
yeah. So this is going to be a 20-lap race. And is this wing or wingless on that?
For sure we'll do in the winged. The wingless, I don't see it on our flyer, but I would like to. It's going to be time permitting.
Right.
This is on a Sunday.
A Sunday afternoon show.
Sunday afternoon. So
got to be reasonable with time.
Absolutely. It should be good on time. All
right. So coming into 2017, we've talked, we talked to you guys last year prior to the season firing up. As far as numbers and growth, it sounds like you guys have been growing the numbers in the class.
As of now, I believe we have 5 new cars and drivers.
Awesome.
It's pretty good growth.
Yeah.
It's really tough. We're a small town. We're isolated in the Finger Lakes. The track is in the middle of nowhere. But the word's getting out, and people, when we travel, get to see what we're doing, and it's growing. It's great.
And for anybody that's listening tonight that has not, didn't hear Eric's interview with us before, this is really quite an innovative idea. You're taking the micro sprint chassis and you're fitting it with engines right off the snowmobile. Matter of fact, I remember the last interview we did with you, I think was in the wintertime, and you said, yeah, we're waiting for some snow so we can go out and do some R&D. So
there it is.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit about the concept of the car.
All right, we're taking used micro sprint chassis, 270 or 600 certified chassis, hyper Starlite PMP engines. We're taking those chassis. I prefer the 270. It's lighter, it's smaller, parts are more affordable, and when we're taking the traditional motor and we're setting it aside.
Yeah.
Based on where we are, there's a lot of snowmobiles here. The snowmobile power, the two-stroke. They kind of went away in the 80s with the emissions.
Yeah.
Basically, in a sense, we're bringing the two-stroke back. The availability of the snowmobiles here, these are extremely high horsepower engines. They're extremely light. They're affordable, and they're easy to maintain and work on. So we're taking snowmobile motors and putting them on these micro sprint chassis, and we're using the CVT drivetrain, which is proven in the sled world to be elite. It's
sure.
Once it's set and right, it's hard.
And this is mounted to driver's left.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And the final drive is chain drive. So you have your traditional snowmobile belt drive, which gets transferred into a 1-inch keyed jack shaft that feeds it the same way any normal cart would to the rear axle.
Yeah.
Just to give an idea, the car that we're talking about, my new build this year, that's got the Polaris XCR 800 triple. That motor, I did put on a 600 chassis. There's a little more room because of the size difference versus the 270. That engine stock is producing 160 horsepower.
Yeah.
Without changing jets, without porting cylinders or pipes or.
Yeah.
And I really feel that it's going to prove to be. I mean, in the micro sprint world, 600s, 1000s, a force to reckon with. In our class, I hope I take a championship with it.
Absolutely.
But, we put the hard work in, and we hope it comes back.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time with the car and in the garage, and we have a team this year. A good friend of mine, Paul Henley. He and I started, we call it Go Baby Go Racing, GBG.
Yeah.
It just sums it up.
Yeah.
I think so many people have just been like, go, baby, go, know, and I'm just saying that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it looks good on the car, the GBG.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw it up there. Everything looks really awesome. We got a couple of cars up there, the wingless car as well as the winged car here on display. Tell us a little bit about Starlite, what day of the week you guys run, where people can find you guys at.
All right, Starlite. We're located right here in the heart of the Finger Lakes, Trumansburg, New York. We're on a little road that shoots out of town called Searsburg. Us cars, we call it, there's small cars and there's big cars that race at the track. The big cars race on Friday night.
Okay.
And I believe there's a lawnmower class that races. So it's kind of a neat mix to see these guys on the mowers or hanging off their seat and holding onto the inside of the fender. And,
it's a redneck racer's dream.
That rear end steps out a little bit and they counter steer and they're aimed at the wall and they recover. And it's just it doesn't have to be lightning speed. It's just great to see.
Yeah.
Anybody that likes to race and enjoys that passion, just hanging it out there and having a good time. So we race Friday nights. We kick it off action 7 o'clock. We get there earlier. If you want to get there earlier and see hot laps and pick out a car and be like, hey, that's the one.
That's my guy tonight.
The guy with the lights on or the crooked wing, his motor just sounds better. 7 o'clock we kick it off. It's free to watch. There's not a lot of tracks left out there that you can just go and enjoy yourself with the family. Watch some good racing, get some dirt in your eyes for free. And I believe it's only $10 to be in the pits.
Okay.
So for $10, you can come in and hang out.
That's half the price any dirt track you go to around here.
Meet some drivers, and it's great.
Good deal. Very good. Well, man, I appreciate you stopping by. Tell us a little bit about Rebels Race for the Cure, and I'm sure we'll be chatting with you again later on this season.
Thanks for having me. It's
Eric Wright joining us here on Turn 5 Live, and I'll tell you, honestly, if you didn't get a chance to get up here and see these cars this weekend, make your way out to Starlite, because it is nothing short of incredible to see the innovation they put into these cars, fitting them with the snowmobile power plant. It's really something special. But we got more coming for you here from the Finger Lakes Speed World Show right here at the Finger Lakes Mall. You're listening to Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
For 17 years, Stock Car Steel has been a leading material supplier to the racing industry. Now they're also an official motorsports content partner of Race Chaser Online. The biggest names in NASCAR trust Stock Car Steel for all their raw materials, such as carbon steel, chrome moly, DOM, aluminum, plastics, and much, much more. You can't build a race car without the basic materials, and Stock Car Steel is the place to get them. Don't forget to also visit Stock Car Steel's sister company, SRI Supplies, for racing and industry. SRI is your #1 source for all your shop supply needs. Nuts, bolts, rivets, tapes, adhesives, cutting tools, chemicals, body shop supplies, paint shop supplies, lubricants, and more. A well-stocked race shop is a winning race shop, and the road to winning begins with 3 letters, SRI. For more information, visit stockcarsteel.com and SRI-supplies.com. You can also find them on Facebook at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, or call either company toll-free at 1-888-752-7272.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, race fans. This is Matt Shepard, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network, coming to you from Motorsports Expo 2017. And stop by the Outlaw Speedway booth here. We've got Tyler, we've got your modified here, and this beautiful truck sitting here. I got to tell you, I think I like the black truck better than the white one. A lot of good stuff here for you guys.
Yeah, it's been a great show, and we got a big shout-out. Thank you to Friendly Dodge and Ford. They've come on board with us this year, stepped up, and it's pretty exciting. But they gave us a brand new black truck this year instead of white, and boy, it really pops off with the letters on it and looks sharp.
Absolutely. Now, we look at the schedule, and it's hard to pick a place to start because you guys got a lot of great stuff coming up this year, but I'm going to start with the surface because there's a lot of folks that are excited about that. Not just because of the new clay surface, but I drive by the track once or twice a month, in the wintertime. There's a lot of more banking. I mean, I think it's going to make the racing unbelievable.
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, I don't think they've put clay like that on the track in 10 or 15 years. So, to have fresh new clay with no stone in it, with more banking and, it's wider now, and we took the Uke tires away. I think it's going to be awesome for the racers and the fans, too.
It's got to be one of the first things that folks come up with a show like this and talk about is wanting to talk about the new surface.
They do. Well, they see my car on there, and they want to buy that wooden car first, but I could have sold that thing 100 times by now. But, yeah, everybody they love the schedule. They love the logos. They love everything we're doing, and, they appreciate what we're doing and fixing it up because everybody, they love the Dundee track, and so they appreciate what we're doing, and we're glad for that for sure.
We'll talk about drivers in just a second because there was some news this weekend about that. But looking at the schedule, let's talk about some of these big races. You got the modified challenge coming back, but coming back in an even bigger way this year with 4 big races.
Yeah, if you win 4 of them, it's $40,000 bonus. I mean, that's awesome. And if you get 3 out of 4, you get 20. But by the time you win those races, on top of the bonus, I mean, you're up in the $50,000 range.
Oh yeah, it's not just $40,000; it's $40,000 bonus plus whatever you win in these, $5,000, $4,000 to win shows.
Yeah, that's huge, and anything we could do, to help out the racers, and like our chassis giveaway, we're trying to make sure that every division can get a chassis in the top 10 in points. We had some exciting news last week with Jerry from Higfab Chassis is going to donate one for the modifieds, and then we're working on a sportsman one, which we should have that announced next week, and Dave Meshuga for Meshuga Chassis on our 4-cylinders, and then Nitro Chassis along with Outlaw Speedway is going to do a chassis for street stock guys. So we're doing everything we can to help the racers out.
We've got, of course, 2 other big shows on here. Of course, the Super Dirt Car Series coming in. And an interesting fact for folks listening at home, they've had the 358 series there in the past, but this is the first time the big blocks are coming. So that's really something to look forward to.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. With the best drivers in the country coming all at one place, and it should be a hell of a show with the big blocks, with the new banking and surface. I mean, that place is fast as hell now. I think we're averaging 95 miles an hour, like 15 seconds around there with the big blocks. So, that's going to be exciting for the fans to see, and exciting for the town of Dundee and for the track. It's been there 60 years and never seen a big block Super Dirt Car Series race there. So that thing should be a fan favorite as well.
And of course you got to mention too the 410 sprints coming in, and as much as we live in modified country, I hear just as many people talking about wanting to see the 410s there because of, it's a 410 sprint car, but with the new surface and with the banking, those guys are going to just really be ripping around there.
I'll tell you, that's everywhere we go, everybody talks about this 410 Sprint Car Show. I mean, my track puts on awesome racing for all the classes, but when the sprint cars come, it's just, those things are unbelievable around that track. It's just awesome. So then, then you add a 410 into the mix, with Tony Stewart's organization coming. I mean, it's wow. That's all I can say, huh?
And now let's talk about, your weekly racing. You've got, an announcement this year was bringing the hobby stocks in. That's had a lot of buzz. I mean, this is just another one of those headlines that guys are excited. It's an IMCA sanction, which, a lot of these guys look for in having that sanction to have that, national rule book. So there's no, there's no interpretations. It's black and white. So, I mean, hobby stocks, that's really getting back to grassroots racing there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're really pleased to offer a class like that for the racers. I mean, let's face it, it doesn't matter what class it's in. This sport's expensive. It takes a lot of time and money to do it. So we felt there was a need between a 4-cylinder and a street stock division. And, I think it'll grow to be a really, really good class. And it's an affordable class for a V8 rear-wheel drive. And, so we're letting the hobby stocks and the pure stocks run together. Yeah. So they'll run for the Outlaw Speedway Championship, which will pay $1,000, and you'll get the big 6-foot skull trophy.
Oh, yeah.
So that's really cool. And then the guys that have the hobby stock cars, the IMCA ones, they'll get to run for the points for the hobby stock, and they go to Boone, Iowa, and run their car out there if they like. So I think it's a winner for a pure stock and a hobby stock guy, and they got a chance to run for some great money every week and a championship. So we're excited for them.
Friday night, Matt Shepard tried to break the internet with his announcement, running for Sweeteners Plus. Now, I know that in the last couple of months, you and Matt had been talking back and forth, and he was pretty confident that he was going to be able to come race with you guys. But boy, to run with Sweeteners Plus, I mean, wow, that's quite an addition for you guys.
Yeah, that's very exciting for us. I mean, I talked to Matt a couple 2-3 months ago, and even a little bit last year, he just would love to come over and race with us. That's his home track. That's where he grew up racing, and he appreciates what I'm doing there for the racers, and that's the biggest thing. He said to me in the shop one day, he says, "I'm coming over because of what you're doing to the track, and for us racers, you're giving us a great place to race, and you got great purses, and your stuff that you're doing for the racers is why I'm coming to race there." And that's great news. I mean, to have Vic and him, and it's exciting news for sure.
So you've got Matt coming over this year, and then the two guys who have run for the championship for the last 2 seasons, they just get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and fans can come see them every Friday night. So that just adds to the excitement for this year. You got 2 guys, one who is practically owned that track in Dundee as far as winning races and championships. Now they're going to be in the Hall of Fame, and they can see them every Friday night.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, Steve Payne's, he's a Hall of Famer. Alan Johnson, Hall of Famer. I mean, we just got so many good guys, great guys in all the classes, not just the modifieds. Sure. But the modified thing is just going to be unbelievable this year. And to add Matt and Vic and some other guys to the mix, I mean, it's just going to be awesome racing. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to run against Matt. He's he's no doubt he's the best modified driver in the country right now, and to run with him every week, and we beat him 2 out of 3 times last year. So I'm looking forward to it. It's just going to be a great addition to the Speedway, and the fans. They want to come out and see. Some of the best racing anywhere in the country can come at Outlaw Speedway every Friday night.
We just had a fan standing here telling you, I used to support X track, but now we're faithful Outlaw supporters. So I imagine you guys have heard that quite a bit this weekend. As you look at that from the promoter side, because, we can stand here and talk about promoting races, but you're a racer too. But with that promoter's hat on, you've got a year under your belt now. I'm sure the learning curve was incredible last season, but that's got to give you a lot of confidence going into this year to have kind of a notebook to go off of.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just like sitting in the grandstands as a racer or a fan. You know, you look out on the track, oh, I can do that. That looks easy. You know, why didn't the guy, you know, what's he doing? I need to drive that race car. And it's the same thing with owning a racetrack. You know, people sit in the grandstands and they think things are easy, or why doesn't he do this or do that? It's a hard deal for sure. We learned a lot. I learned a lot last year on what to do, what not to do. And, you know, so we're really looking forward to this year, and, you know, with everything we got going on with the schedules and, you know, the racing, the racers, it's just going to be an awesome year. But, you know, you can take what you learned from last year, you take your mistakes and improve from them. And, you know, it's going to be good this year because we've got a year on our belt and we know what to do and not to do. So yeah. I'm excited.
As far as, I always love asking, you know, folks that are either new to owning a track or new promoter, what was something last year that either came up or was something that coming into this new that you were like, you know, I never even give that a thought, or wow, I didn't think I would be dealing with something like this as an owner or promoter. Was there anything that sticks out in your mind that just kind of like, it makes you take a step back and say, wow, we didn't even see that coming?
I don't know. Probably a lot of different things. You know, the weather kills you. That makes or breaks you. It doesn't matter how good your track is or how nice a schedule you have or how many cars you got in the pits. It's all about the weather. If you got, you know, nice weather, you know, things are really good. If you got shitty weather, rainy weather, it's really hard. Sure. You know, you only got 20, 22 shows a year. To make a go out of it for the season, and you got to make every race count. So, you know, you learn that, and you know, you got 52 people that work there, so you got to get your employees to gel, and you know, it's just a lot of stuff going on in about 6 hours that you're open. Yeah. You know, so everybody.
Or you're running an event and somebody comes over and says, 2 toilets in the men's room, or I mean, it's things like that you just, until you're immersed in it, it's like you don't even give something like that, and you're just like, wow, all right, this is what it's like to run a racetrack. So it's got to be a lot of fun for you guys to kind of work through those.
It's challenging. I mean, there's never a dull moment whatsoever. You know, it's hard. It's fun. It's rewarding. You know, every week got better for us last year. You know, and I tell you, I got a great staff that works for me there, and you know, you can't do it without really good people, and really good people make things look easy. So when you're sitting in the grandstands and you want to drive a race car or you want to be a track promoter, there's a hell of a lot more to it than the people that are putting it on.
Well, there's a passenger seat on your golf cart. I'm sure you'd love to give anybody an inside peek of what it's really like, you know, running a racetrack, not just from the grandstands.
Oh yeah. So, and it's been challenging for me too. Is you know, I get my race car to run hot laps, and I get out of it, and I'm on my golf cart, and I'm watching things and trying to make sure things are running right. And then you get right back into it for the heat race, and you're right back out of it. And same with the feature. So, you know, that's another challenge inside of it. You know, we got Josh on board this year with us, so he's going to take care of that for me and make sure the maintenance is done proper. And you know, we led the points there last year for a long time until we had about 3 weeks in a row where we had some issues, and you know, we would have liked to knocked Steve off the throne this year and won the championship. So, you know, we're excited. We can't wait to run against Matt and all these guys, and you know, the guys that were there last year. And I tell you, it's going to be exciting.
Should be a wide open field there. And yeah, you're right. Across all the divisions. I mean, you look at, you know, everybody talks about modifieds first, but man, the Crate Sportsman, you had 4 guys running for the title on championship night. The street stocks, I mean, they speak for themselves on a lot of nights. And the 4-cylinders. I mean, talk about guys that come out, they run 4 wide. I saw Bob Miller talking about this the other day. Those guys, and there's another class that I would really am looking forward to seeing with the new clay, the banking, because they're wide open, man. They're really getting after it.
Yeah, hell, they were 4 wide last year. They'll be 6 wide this year.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And that's the funny thing, too, about I love, you know, I've said to everybody that I love the 4-cylinder class so much. I love all the classes, I tell you. You know, because people, let's face it, we don't want to watch the 4-cylinders. You know, you've always heard that for years. And I'll tell you what, I'd sit on top of my trailer or up in the tower, and I just love watching that 4-cylinder race. And you know, I love watching the street stocks and, you know, all the classes there of, have just put on an awesome race. And, the one thing we're looking for this year is hopefully we can get some more late models out there. I love the late model cars. I've always liked to run a 410 late model, too. That'd be wild. But, I love the late models, and we're having them back again this year. And, so hopefully we can get a good field of them, a solid field. I mean, let's face it, there's not a lot of those cars like a sportsman car. Sure. But, we're gonna give them another shot. And, we got a series race for them this year. On the Gary Montgomery Memorial Night, which will be awesome. So, and I tell you what, I'm ready to get going.
I know, I'm with you. This is really the kickoff to the season. Won't be long. We'll have tracks open, and you guys got practice sessions coming up. Along with Mother Nature works with us here. April 7th and 14th practice nights, and I imagine probably more so this year than any other year. The practice nights are going to be busy because everybody's going to want to get out there and get a feel for that new surface.
Oh yeah, that's it's going to be big practice nights for sure, and it's going to be good for us. Hopefully the weather cooperates with the first one and second one, so we can get a handle on it. Because we want to make sure that our track prep crew gets a handle on it right out of the box, and so yeah, we definitely are looking forward to the first two practices, and it should be great.
Appreciate the time talking with us here at the Expo. Outlaw Speedway LLC.com, where you can get all the info, as well as their Facebook and Twitter pages. Tyler, good luck to you this year. We're looking forward to seeing you here in April.
Great. Hey, thanks for having us on.
All right, Tyler Siri joining us here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stay tuned. A lot more coming to you from Motorsports Expo.
Max Dairy Bar is a proud supporter of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Opened in 1974, Max Dairy Bar has been a Penn Yan, Cayuga Lake, and Yates County staple, serving the best Hershey's hard ice cream. They also have soft serve ice cream, their weekly yogurt special, sorbet flavors, gluten-free options, frozen Greek yogurt, and non-dairy lemon ice. Don't forget about their tricky 18-hole putt-putt course that will test your skill to see if you have what it takes to be a champion. Max Dairy Bar and Mini Golf, located on State Route 14A, just south of the village of Penn Yan, right on the way to Black Rock Speedway on Friday nights. Visit them online at www.maxdairybar.com or Max Dairy Bar on Facebook and Twitter. Stop by Max Dairy Bar and tell them Turn 5 Live sent you. Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, race fans. This is Shane Tenace, founder of the Go Nuclear Late Model Series, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stephen Ovens coming to you from the Motorsports Expo 2017 here in Syracuse. Stopped by the Patriot Sprint Tour as well as the CRSA booth back-to-back here. And, of course, talking with Mike Emhof here. And, Mike, we're looking over the schedule here. Got to talk a little bit with Paul about it last weekend, but Motorsports Expo, it's always that, kind of that precursor to the race season. We're ready to go now.
Everybody's ready to go. That's what I call this our season kickoff right here at the Motorsports Expo every year at the New York State Fairgrounds. And we release the schedules officially here. You may see a couple TBAs still in there because we're in negotiation on our schedule, but this is certainly the kickoff to the season in the Northeast.
And you guys, it's just a couple weeks away here, really. About a month off here. But we kick off the American and the Canadian tours April 21st at Outlaw Speedway, April 22nd at Merrittville, and kicking off another great season here with the Patriots.
How could we ask for anything better? I mean, we kick off both our American and Canadian series in the same weekend, and Tyler Siri with a Spring Nationals combined show that we're going to have there, and the Patriot Sprint Tour will be there along with the Empire Super Sprints, and the United Racing Club is also supposed to be involved. So that should be a pretty big kickoff in the Northeast here for 360 sprint car racing. And like you said, Stephen, we head north the very next night and kick off the Canadian series up there with the Patriot Sprint Tour, so at Merrittville Speedway. So new owners up there, been really great to work with. Erica Bicknell has been instrumental in the communications there between the new owners and ourselves, but looking very much forward to working with them, and I think it'll be a great start.
Now, I look at the schedule for this year, and the one thing that I see right off the bat is, the American Tour. A lot of American Tour races. Talk to us a little bit about the expanded schedule.
Well, I'm not really sure that it's that expanded. If you take a look at what we had last year, we had a total of 36 events on there. Right now, there's 34 posted with 3 TBAs on it. So we're in the same area that we have been in, and pretty solid. But where we travel, we try to back-to-back some races, and it gives the teams an opportunity to effectively compete for 2, purses in a very close proximity to one another. So it's one of the things that we've tried to do for all of our teams that travel the Patriot Sprint Tour, and make sure with a solid schedule that does have a lot of travel involved, we'll get shows back-to-back there. So, I think we're in a similar state, but it is a good schedule, and I've had a lot of compliments from the team saying they really like the looks of the Patriots American schedule this year.
Now, you guys have been, kind of doing this American-Canadian format for a couple of years now, and it seems to have really worked well for you guys. Why do you think that is?
Well, I took a look at that situation, and you've got teams that can go do all the races, but you've got a lot of teams up north of the border. The sprint car racing, what I call north of the border, our Canadian, our friends and followers up there at the Patriot Sprint Tour, they Corpac Sprints run at Ashwaubenon every Friday night. You've got SOS up there that normally puts together a nice schedule for them, but the Patriots give them a little something more. We have a nice purse structure. We have a solid point fund there. There's 6 races on the schedule in the Canadian Sprint Car Tour up there for the Patriots. And, there's a lot of teams that can't come south of the border or don't like to come south of the border, and there's a lot of teams that can't go north of the border or don't like to go north of the border. So I split that up 3 or 4 years ago and took a look at that, and it has worked out very well. Our, Jared Zimbardi's kind of been on top of that game a little bit. He follows both tours. Jason Barney 2 years ago led the Canadian Tour right to the last night, and it really was coming down to the last few laps, and unfortunately had an issue in a heat race, and they missed something. I talked to their crew chief yesterday, and they finally found out why the car tightened up so badly. They had a bind in the car, and it turned out to be a bent face on their rear end, something you just wouldn't expect. But they led that whole Canadian series, So, and then Mitch Brown, who was second this year to Jared Zimbardi, and Dylan Westbrook, another up-and-comer up there, won a bunch of races with us last year. And
damn near won the Fall Nationals at Dundee.
Almost did. I mean, he was really close. And both of them are coming back on board for our Canadian Tour, as well as coming back south here in the American Tour and running a few of our races down here. So, I'm really proud of that. Chris Jones is another one. Of course, Steve Poirier is a former Canadian Patriot Sprint Tour champion. And, and of course, Glenn Stiers and Lee Lattisour supports it, Devin Carone. I mean, the list goes on and on of the Canadian followers. Elaine Bergeron, he's been a contingent for years, and I know he's kind of into a semi-retirement, but it's a good mix, and that's why we do it.
And it's a good program because for the racers, it really puts the decision in their hands of what they want to do, or in some cases, what financially their team can do. So that's got to be a nice part of it.
Exactly, and like I said, it's only a 6-race schedule up there. We do mandate that they run all races to partake in cash amounts in their point fund. They all get their plaques of the year, but we pay out $10,000 over a 6-race series for the top 10 in that tour. And where else do you get that kind of money?
Yeah. Now let's look over, and we've got a lot of staples on the schedule here. Anything new track we're going to, or any tracks that we're going back to that we haven't been to in a while?
Well, actually, Stephen, I have to say I haven't counted them. I believe there's about 19 venues on the Patriot Sprint Tour card with the 34 races that are scheduled there, and we're not really adding any brand new tracks on the Patriot Sprint Tour this year. We are going back a little bit. McKean County was off the schedule last year, but we've raced there several times. Always put on a great show out there at the little 3rd Mile track in Smethport, Pennsylvania. And that's going to kick off our Western Swing, Bonnell's Western Swing Speed Week for us. And this year it'll go McKean County in the end of June, and then we go to Raceway 7 for a second event this year. And then we'll culminate at Mercer Raceway Park. All of those are $325 just to start, with $4,000 on top to win each of those 3 events. So that's going to be a highlight for a lot of teams, I think. We did it last year. It was met with rave reviews, and that's why we put it back on the schedule. But we've added a show or two this year with State Line Speedway. We have 2 shows with them this year. Unfortunately, not on the schedule this year. It will be Era's Speedway out in Erie, Pennsylvania with Bob Rohr. We just couldn't come together on a date. They have a big super late model memorial race out there this year that they wanted to highlight, and it was a weekend that we typically race, and they needed to do it. So, they're not on the schedule. We'll miss that track. We love working with the Rohr family and that racetrack. It always puts on a heck of a show. I mean, we had 4 guys come across the line under a blanket last year for a feature win. But, everything else, pretty, we'll go east early in the year. We'll go out to Albany, Saratoga on a Friday night, and Fonda on Saturday night, a Memorial Day weekend. And there's a bunch of other tracks scattered throughout. I mean, our staples, we're at Ransomville twice this year again. The new folks there have been really great to work with there too, and for our 2nd year in a row with them, and a little bit of change in management there a little bit, and they're just excited as heck to have us there with the Patriots and kind of highlight sprint car racing for their World of Outlaws show that they're actually having in July as well.
Well, I got to point out one area of the schedule that I enjoy, and I would love to make out to some of these shows. The Labor Day Triple Play weekend. Tell us a little bit about that, because I saw Path Valley come up on the schedule. Have you guys ever been to Path Valley?
The Patriots have never been to Path Valley, and so it should be really interesting. And if you take a look at that, there's kind of 3 different racetracks there on that weekend, and we'll be working with our friends down to the south of us with URC on challenges of those deals. But to go to the historic Williams Grove Speedway on the Friday night of Labor Day, and up to the just flat out fast Sealands Grove Speedway the next night, and then we're going to slow things right up and get on that little bit of a Path Valley. I just can't imagine how that can't be a calendar markdown for all good Patriot Sprint fans.
No doubt about it. And, of course, we've got Friday, September 8th at Freedom. You've got the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals at Oshweekend. You've got the Fall Nationals at Outlaw, Fonda. I mean, it's really, and actually, talking about this Fonda race too, with the Kramer Williams Memorial, $5,073 to win. That's going to be a big one too.
All of that whole weekend there, and there is a TBA on that weekend, and we have been in negotiations with the racetrack, and that possibly will come to light here in the very near future. And again, that'll be a weekend of some great purse structures for 360 sprint car racing here in the Northeast. It should be pretty phenomenal for that. And there's a lot. I mean, we haven't even talked about the high banks at Woodhull. Yeah. Teddy and Randy have us come down there every year at least twice, and so we'll be down there and working those high banks over. And that's turned out to be one heck of a show every single year. We pack the place. We pull wheelies in the straightaways. We pull slide jobs in the corners. Yeah. Teddy White, I've never seen so many smiles come out of him, and has a great time down there. They treat us very well. But, Outlaw Speedway, Tyler's got just a great schedule put together to work with sprint cars as well. And so we're challenge racing, we're standalone racing. Of course, Watkins Glen comes around, and, we're always down there with the NASCAR fans that come out to the dirt track and see the Patriot Sprint Tour run that night. And who knows? You never know. Maybe we'll find one of them guys in one of our cars again this year as well.
Well, man, I appreciate the time here. Good luck this season. We'll be seeing you. I know I'll be seeing you at several of these places, including Woodhull. And I promise, better weather for that May race. I promise.
Well, I hope so. It's always a threat of the weather, but we always get it in, and maybe not that weekend, but another one. And we work hard to get it in. But I just got a shout out to all of our great marketing partners that we have. I mean, the 8 Verdi storage containers and Champion generators, and with Supergen products. We've got a new marketing partner on board this year with Prestige Pool and Spas out of Vernon, New York, and they've come on board. We really appreciate their support. The Patriot Tank Lines, they're on board. Danny Wilmus, he's in support of us all the time. There's always the Shuttleworth seals the deal. You've got Casey's Truck and Auto Salvage. You've got the Evingham Site Excavation Dash. MEM tosses in a little bit there too with Mike Emhof Motorsports. But if I forgot anybody, I really apologize. But I think we got some of the greatest marketing partners going, and of course our Canadian contingent, Fine Touch Collision Centers, and on the collision centers when we go west, Scott Bunnell and his Bunnell Auto Group out there supports the Patriots to the nth degree. I can't thank all of these guys enough. They do a ton for us, and we really appreciate it.
Great job as always, and hey, we'll see you in a couple weeks here in Dundee.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it.
All right, Mike Emhof here with the Patriot Sprint Tour, getting ready for 2017. You can find them online, patriotsprinttour.com.
How would you like to win a brand new Corvette? Larry O's got all the details.
WinYourNewCar.com. Enter America's #1 dream car giveaway contest. At WinYourNewCar.com, complete the puzzle the fastest and win a new Corvette tax-free. Come on, stop dreaming, start driving with WinYourNewCar.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right, it's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
Hi, this is Jens Scott from Summit Point Kart in Summit Point, West Virginia. If you're looking for a real racing experience on a real racetrack, come out to Summit Point Kart this weekend. For as little as $25, you can get your racing career started. New this year, Summit Point Kart offers the RX 250 capable of over 75 miles an hour. We're open every Friday from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m., Saturday from noon till 10 p.m., and Sunday from noon till 9 p.m. For more information, go to our website, summitpointkartwithak.com, or you can call us at 304-725-5270. Summit Point Kart, your East Coast karting center.
In the race of everyday life, it's nice to have the green flag. But drivetrain problems are the pits. A fully remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential from Jasper Engines and Transmissions costs less than a new vehicle and comes with a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide transferable warranty. See JasperEngines.com for details and get the green flag into your race of everyday life.
See the boys at Chandler & Sons Automotive, 45977 Old Ox Road in Sterling. Give them a call, 703-437-7300.
If you're a gearhead, you probably go online to those hot rod superstores, drooling over the chrome and speed goodies until you find just the right item for your muscle car, tuner car, truck. But what do you do when it comes to fixing the mom mobile? If you're like most do-it-yourselfers, you head to the strip mall parts store and talk to the "Do you want fries with that?" kid behind the counter. Hold on, Bunky. Did you stop to think where those chain stores are getting the parts that you're installing in the vehicle that's used to transport your family everywhere? They get the cheapest suppliers they can find to sell you the parts at bargain prices. Their limited lifetime warranties? What a joke. Remember the last time Mom's car broke down? You heard about that one for weeks. Don't take that chance again. Excelsior Racing has the quality parts you need for your family vehicle. Parts that you can install knowing you're getting the best for your family. Excelsior Racing. Quality parts, personalized service, affordable pricing, fast to you direct. Excelsior Racing. Online at excelsiorracing.com or call 502-909-2034.
Hi, race fans. This is Otto Sitterly, driver of the Nicotra Racing number 7, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. We're going to get an opportunity to talk to Joe Trenca. We always catch him here at Motorsports Expo, and we replayed the interview you did with Doug here a couple weeks ago, talking about all the cars in the shop and everything. But really, to me, it seems like the big news with you guys this year, running the full-time American Tour with the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, we just looked at schedules, and I think Mike and the PST guys, they did a great job on the schedule this year. I mean, they really stepped it up. They're going to a lot of new venues, and the money's really good. And we ran with them a bunch last year and ESS. And, I mean, both groups are great groups. It's just, I like Mike's tracks a little bit different. They're different. I live really close to a lot of the ESS tracks, so it's kind of nice to see some new venues and travel a little bit more. So that's kind of what made us make up our minds.
And, from what you were talking with Doug here a couple weeks back, I mean, so many tracks on this schedule that you guys can look at and say, man, we're not far off at this place. So it's got to give you some confidence going back to some of these places.
Yeah, absolutely. We've ran good on a lot of Mike's tracks out west in Ohio, Western PA. So, that definitely makes it nice knowing we got a good baseline to start off at, and a couple we almost won there last year. So I like a lot of the tracks. There's some new ones on there that I haven't been to, so I'm hoping for a good season.
One of the tracks on the Patriot schedule that I've not been to that I'd really like to get out to, Raceway 7. Tell me about that place. Is there any place around here that you either compare it to or you say, hey, we'll take the notes from here and at least get us a start?
I don't know if we can use notes from anywhere around here, but it reminds me of like a little rolling wheels.
Okay.
It's got the long straightaways, little, not quite tight corners, but it's a really unique place. And we had some real good runs there. We were battling with the lead with Holland there actually 2 years ago. So real fast place, racy, and it's a really nice facility, big, wide open. It's a really nice track, and I strongly urge a lot of people to check it out because the guys do a great job there.
Is that the place that we got to watch that cushion?
Yeah, it's.
I might have had some inside info on that.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a driver's mistake. I just, got a little nose tight getting in, got over the curb, but I mean, it happens. I mean, Holland ran a flawless race, so it is what it is. I mean, if you're going to lose a race, you lose to Brian Holland, I guess there's nothing to hang your head about.
Absolutely, and that's the thing with some of these guys that follow the Patriot Tour. I mean, the Patriot Tour has been around for a good number of years now, and there's a lot of tough competition there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, nowadays in 360 or in any kind of race, I think the competition is just through the roof. I mean, even from 5 years ago. So, I mean, there is no easy tour or a racetrack that's going to have, less competition, so to say. I mean, everyone's got the same, equal equipment. I mean, everyone's really good. So it's pretty much an even playing field. It's just who can set the car up better and not make any mistakes at that track. So,
as far as kicking off the season coming up here just a couple weeks from now, Spring Nationals at Outlaw Speedway. Matter of fact, we're standing here right by the Outlaw booth, and new clay going down on that track, more banking in the corners. Does that, do you, even though they got new clay, a little more banking in the corners, do we still go with kind of the baseline setup there? How do you guys attack that?
Middle of the year last year, we found a setup that I unloaded every track with, no matter if it's big, small, fast, slow, slick, heavy, anything. So we're just we tweaked that a little bit. I mean, we did a lot over the offseason. We did a lot of fine tuning. Last year we were real close, ran up front a lot of times, just couldn't get the job done. And this year I think we got the program and the guys to get that done. So like I said, we tweaked it a little bit, but it'll be the same setup I'll unload with probably the next 5 races from now. So it's I just got to go open mind. It's a different track for everybody, not just me. So I like Black Rock. I think it could be a really racy place. I know they had some problems with the surface and stuff, but I see they're doing huge changes to fix that, which is good. It's been around forever, so I'm hoping. I know Tyler and the guys there have been doing a lot. Hopefully, it's real good for the Spring Nationals, and we got a lot of good cars, and hopefully we can put it on the front stretch there.
And I have to imagine that home field advantage for Hoof's got to help you out at that place too.
Yeah, I get texts from him every day during the week. Hey, I just drove by in my dump truck. That place looks awesome, man. A lot of banking, everything. So I think he's more excited to go there than I am. But no, it's good. A lot of his buddies get to come out the track there that I became friends with. So, and I ran Black Rock for a number of years between the micro sprints and with the sprint cars. So I like it. It's not too far for us, and from what I've heard this year, I haven't seen really too many pictures, but kind of sounds like it's going to be my kind of track, a little fast, banking, stuff like that.
You being from Central New York, what is the track around this area that, is kind of a home game for you, or is it any of these places here?
I don't know if I really got a home track. I mean, I live 5 minutes from Brewerton. I'm 20 minutes from Fulton. So, I mean, I don't even really have I have a home track. It doesn't really matter to me. I like going to all racetracks. So I like traveling and seeing different racetracks. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have the opportunity to be able to travel to a number of racetracks, different racetracks a year. So the home track thing doesn't really bother me, or I don't really even think about it.
I was talking with Mike Emhof earlier today, and we were talking about this triple play with Williams Grove, Sealands Grove, and Path Valley. I mean, those are 2 tracks to start off with, Williams Grove and Sealands Grove, that, 360, 410, you've got a little experience down there. Talk us through that weekend.
Yeah, we've been running some 410 stuff at the Grove on Friday nights last year, starting last year. And we plan on doing a lot more this year. We're actually supposed to go down there the next Friday, but with the weather, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. But no, I think the 410 experience down there is going to help. I mean, we ran 360s at Sealands Grove. I mean, we ran it there a bunch. I mean, probably 20, 30 times since we've been racing. So we got that track down pretty good, and we're always fast there, so that's good. But Williams Grove's a different animal, I mean, when I went down there with Cobra last year, I learned a lot from him, and hopefully we can learn some more stuff with the 410 down there that we can apply to the 360 because that's going to be a little bit more important running for the championship.
Yeah. How about Path Valley? Anybody know anything about Path Valley?
I've been there once. It's small. It gets racy. I mean, and watching the videos from when Fred Raymer puts it on, it looks like a really cool place, and I think it's going to be fun. I mean, we don't really have a track like that around here. I mean, maybe it's a little bit similar to Brewerton, but I think it's going to be it's a great weekend. Like I said, I give the props to Mike and the guys at Patriots for getting a race schedule like that, and especially that weekend. I mean, I think it's really cool, and it's going to open up a lot of eyes.
$3,000 to win each night. I mean, that makes it worth the toe down in that direction.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially, and even if we got to go down there for 2 nights, I mean, Mike's really good about looking out for his guys and, making sure we're not going 5 hours for one race. So it's really nice to run three nights in a row and good purses. And it's just like his speed weeks. $4,000 to win, you can't beat that. You got to travel, a couple hours longer for us and, get a hotel. But, if you win one night, it pays for it. So I'm excited.
As far as what we look at for goals this year, do you guys ever set out on a season and say, okay, as far as win column, top 5s, top 10s, this is what we're looking for?
No, not really. I mean, this year's a little different. I haven't chased the championship since I was really young. Yeah. So this year, obviously, the main goal is chase the championship with the Patriots. But each race is a different race. I mean, you could win one night and you can finish last the next. So we're going to take it race by race. We prepared a lot this year. So I think it's going to be really good. And I think we got a good shot at winning the championship.
Chasing the championship, but you can't really change how you race. I mean, you got to go out and attack it one race at a time, and every race is you got to win.
Yeah, I mean, even heat races are important this year. I mean, you get points for them.
Right.
So, I mean, you don't really got to be more cautious. I guess you just got to be a little bit smarter and wiser with your moves. I mean, especially if you're racing, for speed weeks. You still got 4 nights ahead of you. So, I mean, that aspect of it, you probably won't see a driver, change the way I'm driving, but just I guess it's a driver mindset.
All right, man. Well, good luck this season. I know you guys have stepped up. You've got some helpful time now, and really, making some steps forward with the team.
Yeah, we hired Andrew Bowman. He's from Ohio, and he's been with us about a week now. Yeah, a week, and it already feels like family. Me, him, Hoover, all the guys get along real good with him. I mean, he's had family dinners at our house already, so it's a real good thing. I'm very excited we hired him, and I think he can bring a lot to our team and help us. And I think it's going to be a really good year. I mean, I have a lot of fun racing with these guys. It makes it easier. I mean, everyone's kind of around the same age, so we have fun, and just got to thank my grandpa for giving us this awesome opportunity to do this.
All right, man. Well, good luck this season, and won't be too long. We'll see you out at Outlaw Speedway.
Thanks.
All right, Joe Trenca joining us here at the Outlaw Speedway booth. We got a lot more coming to you from Motorsports Expo here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
How would you like to win a brand new Corvette? Larry O's got all the details.
WinYourNewCar.com. Enter America's #1 dream car giveaway contest. At WinYourNewCar.com, complete the puzzle the fastest and win a new Corvette tax-free. Come on, stop dreaming, start driving with WinYourNewCar.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right, it's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
Hi, this is Jens Scott from Summit Point Kart in Summit Point, West Virginia. If you're looking for a real racing experience on a real racetrack, come out to Summit Point Kart this weekend. For as little as $25, you can get your racing career started. New this year, Summit Point Kart offers the RX 250 capable of over 75 miles an hour. We're open every Friday from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m., Saturday from noon till 10 p.m., and Sunday from noon till 9 p.m. For more information, go to our website, summitpointkartwithak.com, or you can call us at 304-725-5270. Summit Point Kart, your East Coast karting center.
In the race of everyday life, it's nice to have the green flag. But drivetrain problems are the pits. A fully remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential from Jasper Engines and Transmissions costs less than a new vehicle and comes with a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide transferable warranty. See JasperEngines.com for details and get the green flag in your race of everyday life.
See the boys at Chandler & Sons Automotive, 45977 Old Ox Road in Sterling. Give them a call, 703-437-7300.
If you're a gearhead, you probably go online to those hot rod superstores, drooling over the chrome and speed goodies until you find just the right item for your muscle car, tuner car, or truck. But what do you do when it comes to fixing the mom mobile? If you're like most do-it-yourselfers, you head to the strip mall part store and talk to the "Do you want fries with that?" kid behind the counter. Hold on, Bunky. Did you stop to think where those chain stores are getting the parts that you're installing in the vehicle that's used to transport your family everywhere? They get the cheapest suppliers they can find to sell you the parts at bargain prices. Their limited lifetime warranties? What a joke. Remember the last time Mom's car broke down? You heard about that one for weeks. Don't take that chance again. Excelsior Racing has the quality parts you need for your family vehicle. Parts that you can install knowing you're getting the best for your family. Excelsior Racing. Quality parts, personalized service, affordable pricing, fast to you direct. Excelsior Racing. Online at ExcelsiorRacing.com or call 502-909-2034.
Hi, race fans. This is Mel Thomas from Thomas Video, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Standing outside the Weed Sport Productions and Weed Sport Speedway booth here at Motorsports Expo, and we've got a wingless sprint car sitting here in front of us, and number 10 Mohawk Northeast, and of course our good friend Kelly Hebing, the driver of this machine. And so tell us why we got the wing off here.
It's a cool deal out here promoting the June 25th wingless race with Weed Sport Speedway. Handful of us have never, I'd say more than a handful of us have never taken the wing off their cars. There's guys like Parker, Evans, and Coleman that have done it out in Indy, but it should be a good time. It's a special show, something to have fun with, and looking forward to it.
So it's interesting because you guys have with the 360 sprints, you've got several opportunities to do things differently. Now you can take the wing off and run a race. You've run the race on the pavement. I mean, so it's kind of nice. It kind of mixes up schedule a little bit.
It makes it fun. We all say we do this for fun, but we all get so serious throughout the season, and if something goes wrong, then you're bummed for the next week until you can hit the track again. And special shows like these split up the schedule, and it makes you enjoy stuff, think about a little less, and just go have fun and race.
Now, last year I remember talking to you, and you said, well, I got Mom convinced a little bit more to do some 360 stuff. So now I got to ask you, we're going to do a little more 360 stuff this year, or actually primarily 360 stuff. So she's used to it now, right?
Oh, yeah. We put her in both feet on the ground running. I don't think she has much of a choice anymore, but she's good. She loves it. She's been with Dad since day one, and he's done it. So I think she knew it was in the cards from day one.
Now, you were telling me a little bit that, we're strictly 360 stuff, looking at ESS shows, looking at Patriot shows. But I do know that part of also what you're looking at is making sure you've got that kind of help to support you at the track as far as, crew guys, because, Chuck's got his schedule that he's found, crossing off some items on the bucket list.
Oh, yeah, he's bound and determined on that bucket list. But you know how it is. We wear out his two guys that are there every night. And, I mean, my car wouldn't be sitting here without them either. And you can tell in the middle of summer they get pretty sweaty and tired over two cars. So, yeah, still looking for some crew help, and it helps because if Dad wants to go check one of his bucket list items out, I still have people back home to go where I want to go. So still looking, but, yeah, full 360 schedule. I mean, it's a shame that the 305s kind of died out in our area, but I can't learn what I need to learn against 5 cars at places,
Absolutely, but at the same time, fortunately, the 305s were here at least long enough that you could kind of, dip the toes into the water and get comfortable with this car before you get the bigger power plant.
Absolutely. I'm grateful for the time I got to run with the 305s, but little by little I started bringing my 305 to 360 shows and just try, and it's just come to a point where have my 360 and go race against those guys is where I'm going to get my seat time. And if it's one way to learn, it's learn against the best, and who's in ESS and Patriots are at the top in our tier, and that's where I want to learn.
And we're here, outside the Weed Sport booth, and we've got Mohawk Northeast across the side of the car here. I mean, this seems like this has really become quite a nice partnership with you guys and Mohawk and everybody at Weed Sport.
I've definitely been blessed to have Al Hankey come on board, and Betsy, his right-hand woman. It's just been a blessing, and what a better group of people to have on your car, and so much they've done for motorsports. It's a cool feeling that they wanted to be on the car with me.
As far as any tracks that you got circled that I'd really like to cross this place off, or I'm looking forward to going back. Any places come to mind there?
I always look forward to Utica Rome.
Yeah,
it's where I learned in my 305 against the 360 guys. But
is that a place that you have more I mean, maybe Canandaigua, but other than Canandaigua, is there any other place in Utica that you have more laps?
I'd say Utica would be the only other one, just because I was able to bring my 305 there a handful of times to run against the 360 guys and
qualify against them.
Yeah, last year it was cool. I qualified. We put the 360 in, and I qualified for the Coal Cup, so that was like a highlight of my year.
I mean, looking at where you're at now, you've got the opportunity to do, some 360 stuff that you want to do. I mean, I got to imagine, obviously happy where you're at, but you've got some great supporters here. I mean, things seem like they're really going well for you as far as the racing side goes.
Yeah, I don't think I have a better teacher than anyone than my dad, so it's been cool. I mean, both groups are like a family at the end of the day, and I've learned so much in the last year just putting in my 360 for half a season. I'm really excited to see what this season brings.
And what's interesting to me, too, the fact that, when you first started, it was, if you were racing somewhere, Chuck had to be racing there, too. But you're really starting to come into your own that, if Dad's going to race here, you know what, I'm okay. I can go over here and race. And I don't necessarily have to have him right there by the side. You've really grown into your own here.
I really started paying attention when I figured out that this is something I really want to do and take seriously. And I give my mom all the credit in the world. She's hung on with Dad for how many years, and now she's hanging on with me. And she'll go with me, and she knows what to do all throughout the night. She's got her own little schedule, and we get guys, and Joey comes with me, and our best friend Zach comes, and as long as they're working and Mom knows what's going on, we can make it work.
Absolutely. Something else that obviously we got to talk about too is your new business venture. Tell me a little bit about the graphics girls.
Chrissy Dow, she used to run Starlite Speedway, and she's really close family friends with my family. She took me under her wing a little bit. I mean, I owe Pilot all my knowledge from the years I spent with him, but this was a deal I couldn't pass up. It was something I got to be a partner in and grow, and it's 5 minutes from my house. And
that's nice.
Yeah, it was a little better than an hour drive to work every day, but it's just fun. I mean, it's cool to learn from Chrissy because she's done it for so many years, and her style and my style work really well together, so it's been a lot of fun, and we're getting busier and busier, and I'm just learning to work.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys do as far as the products you have, and when us race fans think of folks that are in the graphic design business, we think, well, all they do is race cars. Well, you guys know that there's much more to that than just doing race cars.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't really even advertised for race cars. We're huge into commercial stuff, and anything print material wise you could think of, we can handle. Business cards and postcards and stuff like that, and like all the promotional items you see walking around this show, we can do all that stuff too, and your regular signs and vehicle decals, we do it all.
As far as your experience doing the decals, whether it was with Chrissy or your time with Pilot, weirdest thing you guys have ever had to do graphics for? Is there something that was, man, that was a strange vehicle we did, or maybe a unique company that you did a sign for? Anything that sticks out?
Probably at Pilots, we had a guy come in with a Ford Ranger, and he wanted Shelby Cobra Mustang stickers all over it. So that one gave me a good chuckle. But it's cool. I mean, between Pilot and Chrissy, it's just people come with an idea, and it's cool to see it out.
Now, you growing up in the era where social media is so important, that's what I see not only with your race team but the business side too. Social media, and I know there's folks that listen to our program that say, I can't stand social media, I don't have any use for it, I don't even want a Twitter account. But these days are different. You have to, that stuff is so important.
I think nowadays, if you need to get something out there between Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, it's out there in 10 seconds as soon as you thought about it in your head. So, yeah. I mean, it is the quickest way to get information and keep people updated, I feel like. And that's my goal for this year on the promotional side, is to really keep up with social media and Twitter and Facebook, because people log onto their computer and check a page and they know what's going on and they're over it, instead of waiting a week for the next newspaper to come.
Or waiting for the trade paper to come out. And there's still, obviously, the trade paper is still very important too, but as far as instant access, if I want to get up on Sunday morning and I want to see how Kelly ran on Saturday night, 10 seconds I can do it.
Absolutely. And like, not that you want to say the rain word, but I mean, stuff like that. It used to, one guy was in charge of calling all the race teams.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was little and we'd get a call. And now it's like they put one tweet, and as long as you're following them, it's instant. You know what's going on.
And then as far as, even using the social media to help maintain, the folks that are on the side of the car, I mean, there's just as much value in that as there is the car going around the racetrack.
You definitely want to show off who you have behind you, and it's easy with social media, and it's not like it's a bother. I mean, it's an honor to have the people on my car that I do, and I know I wouldn't be doing it without them, so if it takes me 2 minutes to give them a little shout-out somewhere, it's 2 minutes well spent.
As far as, we talked a little bit about where you've come in your career. Are you at a point now where you feel pressure, or do you feel like you've been established now that there's not that pressure anymore?
I mean, I think we all put pressure on ourselves, and growing up with your dad as the Cobra, those are some pretty big shoes to fill, but he's my biggest teacher, and I guess I put pressure on myself just because every year you want to do better.
So, as far as where we're going to see you first this season, do you have your first race picked out?
The end of April, I'll be at Utica Rome with ESS.
Awesome. So we got to feel good about that. We were talking about the fact you got a lot of laps there. Any other place that maybe you don't have as many laps, but you've run well, you feel comfortable going back to?
If we could get a race at Rolling Wheels, I'd like to go back again, but I'm not sure what's going on there. I mean, I like Fulton, and I've grown up at all these Central New York tracks, so now to really go there and really know what I'm learning and put into the race car, I feel like I have a better shot at it now.
As far as things that Dad's working on, he comes so close last year to winning a URC race. Is that one of those things that's on his list right now?
I think Williams Grove, period's on his bucket list. He's been close, and I've never been so excited to see him run second to Greg Hodnett, but I don't know who I was rooting for more. But it was just a cool deal, and he makes jokes that he's just some small-town boy in racing, and I don't think he gets that he is the Cobra, and that means something. So I'd like to see him get one at Williams Grove. I think if you seen him get one at Williams Grove, he'd back it down. He'd be happy.
He came back from his shoulder surgery last year, but man, at the end of the season, he was just on it. You talk about the race with Hodnett, his fall nationals at Outlaw Speedway was, if you weren't there, you missed a hell of a show, because I tell people this all the time. If Chuck Ebing's racing at a racetrack, there's the cushion, the danger zone, and then Chuck's lane. I mean, I don't know any other way to explain it.
No, it was funny. I was the first one to him. If anybody could have had a microphone on him, then he was just giggling because he knew that he put himself in a zone that no one else was going to go to.
Yeah. And then, of course, I can't wait to see him come down on the high banks at Wood, because Woodhull's another place that there's the cushion, and then there's Chuck's lane on the outside. When you see him do things like that, you're learning. You see him do something like that, you say he giggles, but it's like, yeah, but it works. I mean, how do you try and look at that and say, okay, what can I learn here? How can I go out and try and reproduce that?
Well, it's funny because they all pick on me for being a bottom feeder, and then I think I'm on the top, and he goes out there and runs like that, and then he'll just come in and goes, okay, so now that's the top, so whatever you were doing is not it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the time here. It's been, doing this stuff has been a lot of fun, getting to meet different people, but you in particular, because we got to talk to you right when you first started, and to see where you are now is really, really incredible. So enjoy it. Make sure to have fun. That's what we're here for.
I appreciate it.
Kelly Hebing joining us here at the Weed Sport Speedway and Weed Sport Productions booth. Got a lot more coming up for you here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network.
How would you like to win a brand new Corvette? Larry O's got all the details.
WinYourNewCar.com. Enter America's #1 dream car giveaway contest. At WinYourNewCar.com, complete the puzzle the fastest and win a new Corvette tax-free. Come on, stop dreaming, start driving with WinYourNewCar.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right, it's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
Hi, this is Jens Scott from Summit Point Kart in Summit Point, West Virginia. If you're looking for a real racing experience on a real racetrack, come out to Summit Point Kart this weekend. For as little as $25, you can get your racing career started. New this year, Summit Point Kart offers the RX 250 capable of over 75 miles an hour. We're open every Friday from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m., Saturday from noon till 10 p.m., and Sunday from noon till 9 p.m. For more information, go to our website, summitpointkartwithak.com, or you can call us at 304-725-5270. Summit Point Kart, your East Coast karting center.
In the race of everyday life, it's nice to have the green flag. But drivetrain problems are the pits. A fully remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential from Jasper Engines and Transmissions costs less than a new vehicle and comes with a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide transferable warranty. See JasperEngines.com for details and get the green flag into your race of everyday life.
See the boys at Chandler & Sons Automotive, 45977 Old Ox Road in Sterling. Give them a call, 703-437-7300.
If you're a gearhead, you probably go online to those hot rod superstores, drooling over the chrome and speed goodies until you find just the right item for your muscle car, tuner car, truck. But what do you do when it comes to fixing the mom mobile? If you're like most do-it-yourselfers, you head to the strip mall parts store and talk to the "Do you want fries with that?" kid behind the counter. Hold on, Bunky. Did you stop to think where those chain stores are getting the parts that you're installing in the vehicle that's used to transport your family everywhere? They get the cheapest suppliers they can find to sell you the parts at bargain prices. Their limited lifetime warranties? What a joke. Remember the last time Mom's car broke down? You heard about that one for weeks. Don't take that chance again. Excelsior Racing has the quality parts you need for your family vehicle. Parts that you can install knowing you're getting the best for your family. Excelsior Racing. Quality parts, personalized service, affordable pricing, fast to you direct. Excelsior Racing. Online at excelsiorracing.com or call 502-909-2034.
Hi, race fans. This is Mel Thomas from Thomas Video, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Steve Ovens coming to you from the Finger Lakes Speed World Car Show here at the Finger Lakes Mall. We're set up right outside of Bass Pro Shops. And next up, we're going to talk to Dave Axton, who is here. Got a great display with Highside Race products. And Dave, it's fun to talk to a guy like you because not only are you a vendor here at the show, you're also a driver, too. So we get to talk about both of those things. But why don't we start with, I know you're here with the business this weekend, Highside Race Products. And, you know, we're recording this on Sunday, and I've already seen you over there giving measurements for drivers over there. So talk to us about how this weekend has gone for you.
Oh, so far so good. I mean, I'm just, I'm from here. So, I mean, this is a mall that I grew up in, so I'm just happy to see people here and activity here. You know, I mean,
absolutely.
So, you know, it makes me happy. But, no, the suit business is very good. I started this about 3 years ago or so after working with a few suit companies over the past 20, 25 years. I'm kind of my full-time job is in the design world. So I did some design for a couple big suit companies for past 20, 25. And about 2-3 years ago, I kind of decided that, you know, maybe I kind of branch out a little bit on my own, and you know, I started my first designs and specs, and I used them myself for probably the first year or year and a half. Tested everything out, made sure that I was happy with how I've got everything assembled, and then began selling about a year and a half ago.
Gotcha.
And, we've got right now, probably over the last 12 months, 14 months, I've got well over 250 suits out all over the country.
Well, and that's the interesting thing. I follow you on social media, and I see that, you know, this is not just a local Northeast thing. You've got suits going out all over the place.
I actually purposely started doing my marketing and my business plan not in Central New York.
Okay.
Mainly because I kind of figured that'd be the easy thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been around long enough where I know enough people where I figured the Central New York market I could probably get into pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But I purposely went out to California and North Dakota and Texas and Georgia and Wyoming, all these pretty obscure places, and tried to establish myself there and then work my way back. And it's been a really good model for me because California is a huge, huge market for me. North Dakota, and you know, I did 5 suits for the guys out at Eagle Chassis here in the past week, and Eagle's owned by Speedway.
Yeah,
and so you know, I was very surprised they called me because they can go and next door into their storage building and buy any suit that they want. But
sure,
you know, I think they saw my product out there with 1 or 2 guys, and that's really how it works. I mean, you do 1 or 2 suits in different areas, which is what I focused on. And that person, if you treat them right, give them good customer service, give them a good product, they tell 2 of their buddies, and they tell 2 of their buddies, and before you know it, you've created a snowball.
Yeah. Yep. So after that phone call, you hang up the phone, and you've got to have that moment of, did that just happen?
Oh, no, it blew me away. And I actually told him, I go, you guys work at Speedway, and you're calling me. You know what I mean? So it was good. And honestly, what they said was they saw one of my suits and were happy, and they wanted a custom piece just like what that guy had. Is what they said. So that it just snowballed from there, and it just seems like, like 4 or 5, 6 of those guys from the Eagle shop called me, and it's like, hey, it worked out good.
That's all right.
But yeah, I've got stuff everywhere. I mean, it's pretty exciting to see, the places that I've sent stuff. I mean, I've got a dozen suits up in the Quebec area.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So.
And not just big cars either. I think you said something about, I think it was go-kart racers and things like that.
I got kart jackets, kart suits, a little bit of everything. The custom shoes are just huge. I mean, I couldn't, I did one pair of custom shoes for somebody, and I made the mistake of posting it on my Facebook page, and before I knew it, I had over 100 pairs of shoes ordered. I mean, everybody wanted these custom shoes.
One picture.
Whole
nother line of business.
Right. Well, funny stories. I just posted the other day a picture of these Cobra Skin shoes that I did for Cobra and his daughter. They are actually, I've got them here. Did I show you in real person or no?
No, not yet, but I'm going to come over and see them.
The photos don't do them justice. Well, I did them sort of as like a favor, to them. They're good friends, and I'm like, I want to do something for them for helping me out. So I did these Cobra Skin race shoes, and I've been excited to get them back from the factory, and I finally got them back, and I posted the picture on the internet, and about 5 minutes before dinner, and all during dinner I got 20 phone calls from all over the country wanting these Cobra shoes, and I'm like, man. I told people I wouldn't do them. This is sort of a custom gift. Well, I now have samples coming from California in every snakeskin known to man, and I have these dragon skin stamped leather, and I've got alligator, and I've got iguana. I got all this stuff coming.
Oh, man.
And it may create a whole nother niche in my business, but we'll see.
So that leads me to this question. Okay, what's the next idea that's going to turn into another line of business?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. The shirts and the dye sub sweatshirts and stuff. I originally had that in my business plan, and I do them, but they've taken a back seat to literally the shoes, the suits, and the gloves, because I mean, it blows me away how many people want the custom stuff. They want a pair of gloves with their name and their number on them, and it's just snowballed.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, tons of custom shoes. It's unbelievable how many people want them.
The custom, the design. I mean, that part is all. That stuff is really, really cool. But at the same time, it's also, I mean, this is safety equipment.
Yeah,
I mean, this is, really important stuff. Yeah. And I imagine that's probably a lot of the conversation you've had this weekend, too.
Yeah, no, we talked to a ton of people that have walked by. I mean, people buying, people not buying, people just getting measured so that, and I talk to everybody. I go, listen, don't buy today. But while you're here, just let me measure you. I write you up. I keep your numbers on file. And if you call me a year from now and tell me you didn't gain 30 pounds, I've got your numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what I'm finding and what I think my business has become extremely successful in a short period of time is I have more people call me and say, I called company X or I called company Y and I haven't heard from them in 2 months. Or I haven't heard from them in a week or 3 or whatever the case is. I find that I'm returning phone calls in minutes, not hours or days or weeks or months.
Yeah.
I'm returning text messages at 2 in the morning when I hear my phone go off on my headboard. And I've had more people say that the reason why we go with you is because of the customer service part of it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm at my business is at a good level where I can give that customer service. I'm concerned that if I double again, which I have in the past year, that's going to be a challenge.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because
sure.
And if that comes, to fruition, I'm just going to have to hire some staff. You know what I mean? But it's growing.
That's any challenge of a small business that produces like that is, so that's
right.
So I understand that completely.
And I've got 4 race cars in my shop that aren't together. Because I can't stop what I'm doing. You know, so. I got 4 frames and four piles of parts that I got to assemble for cars, and I just haven't been able to get to them yet. This weekend I'll be here. Next weekend I'll be at the Syracuse show. We did a show at Pennsylvania last month, and then in between, trying to do the rest of the things you do in life. It's just tough.
Talking the safety aspect, and let's talk about suits for a second, because I think that, and I don't know, I think you would have the answer to this, but better than me just trying to throw a dart at the dartboard, but it seems like, the mentality for the longest time was, well, instead of investing in my race suit, I'm going to buy another tire, or I'm going to invest in this or that. Is that culture changing, or do you still see that a lot?
No, it's definitely changing. What's changed too to help is companies like mine, and there's 4 or 5 of us out there that offer a good custom suit at a good price point. I walk through the pits, and I've been racing a long time, so I've seen everything. You walk through the pits and you see some of the equipment some of these guys have, and that's what drove me to do what I'm doing now. Is I'm like, man, I got to figure out a way to be able to get shoes and gloves and this to us regular Saturday night guys that can afford it.
Yeah.
Instead of going back to what you just said. There's perfect examples. I broke my back a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And about a week prior to that, we were at a race someplace, and Dave Wickham, who makes these crash pads that go in a seat.
Yeah, yep.
He showed
talked to him before.
Yep, he's a fantastic person, very smart man. He was there in a driver's meeting trying to talk everybody into looking at this pad. And I'm like, it's really nice. And my wife is standing next to me, and she goes, will you go over there and buy one? And I'm like, well, I need to buy a tire tonight. Exactly what you're just talking about.
Yeah.
So I, of course, went and bought a tire instead of spending the $200 on the crash pad. Well, a week later, I'm at Lebanon Valley and ended up getting a pretty good wreck and breaking my back. And there's not a doubt in my mind, if I had that in my seat, I wouldn't probably broke my back. So to get back to your point,
how long did it take you to call Dave after that?
The next day, actually, I think. Once I got back and settled, it might have been next few days, but I sent him the video, and I thanked him I didn't thank him. I sent him the video and says, I've got to have one. This is what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked to put the video on his site and the whole thing, which he did. It's probably still there.
Yeah.
But I had one coming for the next, I wasn't supposed to race for 3 months, and I was racing the next weekend. I had, luckily, 2 or 3 guys slipping me in the car, but same deal with the suits. I mean, we're kind of lax when it comes to this stuff. Drivers are, because none of us feel it's going to happen to us, or we're not going to have an issue. We're not that far removed from the time when people were running, Will Cagel's running open face helmets and no gloves. I mean, it's not that far. Hopefully, companies like ours that can make things more affordable will totally have everybody hooked on decent equipment. I had a lot of people stop and I have a lot of people buy package deals from me, so I can package them for less than $1,200-$1,300. I can package them with everything, pretty top of the line stuff, and that's affordable, because I know I was very short period of time ago I was paying $2,800 just for a race suit from certain companies.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford to do that. And I'm trying to use that darn suit for 10 years because I feel like it owes me something. But by 10 years, it's saturated with everything known to man, and it's probably counterintuitive, because it's more flammable now because it's loaded with transmission fluid and everything. So
yeah, absolutely.
My price point is usually between $7.99 and $8.99. For 2 and a 3 layer, and at that price point, my mentality is somebody can afford one every other year.
Okay,
and that was
going to be my next question.
That's my goal
about the how long should you realistically expect to do?
Well, I mean, the quality of my suits will last you 5, 8, 10 years, but I just I feel that my price point will allow somebody to get one every other year, because people have gotten where they want new stuff all the time, you know what I mean? And with my price point, they can do that.
And with customizing them too, sponsors change.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I think that as racing has gotten more expensive and sponsors are harder to come by, it's little things like that that can really make a difference to take that sponsor and say, okay, look at what this guy's doing for us. You know, he's got our name on the suit, and that's walking around every single night. It's not just all the laps on the track.
Right.
Those things make a big difference.
Right. You know, and everybody's taking a cue from NASCAR. I mean, you need to be your own PR guy, and you need to look professional, and you need to act professional. And, you know, just walking into a sponsor with a little loose leaf packet isn't going to get you the dollar. You know what I mean? You have to have the whole package together. And you know, a lot of guys will take like my suits or take different things right to the sponsor and show them, listen, this is my suit from last year. You know, we can get your name on, and and this and that, and a lot of times the sponsor will buy it for them. And I've got a lot of checks that come my way right from the sponsor themselves.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that a lot of these guys can actually approach it that way when they're going to sponsors. Sometimes instead of asking for $1,500 in cash, say, listen, I'd like to get this suit, or I'd like to get whatever the case is, a new body for the car, and explain to them that their money is going to go to this, go to something. And I think you'll have a better chance of getting some of those dollars than just going there and saying, I need your cash.
We've talked about the race products here with High Side Race Products, but there's also the racer side, and you referred to it a little bit. So I know that you're early in the stage of getting the cars together, but what's the outlook for this year? What are we looking at?
Yeah, I mean, usually the Daytona 500 is my alarm clock to get my butt in gear and move. So I did jump out of the shop there last Sunday night and got a few hours in, but I got all my I got the my two primary cars are all powder coated, ready to go. I got all my parts sitting there and ready to go. I stopped and saw Jason Barney the other night and spent quite a few dollars at 87 speed, and we'll get going on that. But no, I'm going to run almost the whole ESS tour, pretty much everything but Canandaigua.
Okay.
So pretty much the whole tour but that. Some wingless shows in there. I'm going to put a third car together just for wingless stuff, and do the Weed Sports show and some down in Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
But probably 27, 28 races. I'm going to try to hit some URC stuff. Back when I ran modified, I was doing 80, 90 races a year, and those days are over.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, I'm really enjoying the sprint car stuff, especially because you can race, you can keep your feet in it, you can still be part of it, but you can also have a life. You know what I mean? Where with a mod, I'd wave goodbye to my family April 1st and say I'll see you, middle of October maybe, and that's it. You know what I mean? So.
And I see it so much with the traveling sprint guys that the families coming out with them, and your family's no different.
Yeah, same thing. And I'll tell you, I tell everybody, the sprint car thing is probably the best thing that happened to me, because I kind of got out for a couple years and drove once in a while for a few people there for 2 years, and I got sucked in and tried a sprint car one night, and the next thing you know, I had 2 or 3 in the shop. But it reminds me of when I was a kid racing go-karts. I mean, my family was heavily into karts back in the day, and it has that same family feeling. Everybody gets along so well. And, it's just, and if anything happens, we're all there for each other to throw parts at you, or if you need something, everybody's there to pitch in, and it's absolutely unbelievable. And it's something I didn't see in the big blocks ever, and all the, you know what I mean? And, would I still love to have a big block in my shop? Absolutely, for 5 or 6 races a year. But I
think I'd still argue it's still not that way with modified.
No, and it's not. I mean, I hear more and more of my mod guys saying, you're right. You got your 1 or 2 buddies, 1 or 2 people that you can trust. Other than that, I mean, it's sort of pretty cutthroat. I mean, where ESS, the Patriots, these groups, you just got some good people that just want to race clean, and it's just a good family thing. And it's after we're done racing, we all hang out together, and it's just a good time.
Well, man, I appreciate the time stopping by here, telling us a little bit about what you've got going on. I've been following you and seeing what you guys have been doing, and I don't mean to cut this short, but for the folks listening here on a Tuesday night, we're going to close this out, and I'm going to go take a look at those snakeskin shoes, man, because the
awesome.
picture looks awesome, and he says the picture doesn't do it
Not
justice.
even
So,
close.
hey guys, if you're in need of any of these race products, suits, gloves, shoes, I see a couple helmets over there too.
Yep. I do Zamp helmets. I do Zamp helmets out of Washington State. So, and they're great helmet for a great price point again.
I've got Dave's card here, but Dave, tell us about where fans can connect with you.
Facebook, honestly, is my number one driver, and it's just Highside Racewear. You can find it on Highside Racewear. I have a page as well. You can find me there, or just send me an email at highsideracewear@gmail.com. I also do have a website, just highsideracewear.com. I'll be honest with you, I don't use it very much.
Okay.
The Facebook is the driver.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just an amazing
That's the
tool.
instant.
Absolute instant, and it's absolutely amazing at how quickly you can get to people.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic.
And from a business perspective, the price is right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Dave. Thanks a lot. Appreciate
it.
it.
Thank you so much.
Yep. We'll have a lot more coming here to you from Finger Lakes Speed World here in just a little bit. You're listening to Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
Turn 5 Live is a copyrighted production of the Performance Motorsports Network. PerformanceMotorsportsNetwork.com is a member of the Scorpion Radio Group Incorporated and may not be rebroadcast, replicated, or saved in any media without the explicit written permission of PMN. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host, co-host, and guest, and do not necessarily reflect those of the management and ownership of either the Performance Motorsports Network or Scorpion Radio Group Incorporated, the advertisers, or marketing partners. Thank you for listening to Turn 5 Live. You can listen to Turn 5 Live every Tuesday night right here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stay tuned for more great PMN programming.
Everything's better when she's around. Can I tell the parents go out of town? I fell in love.